Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? I'm back in business. Just arrived home this morning. I've been walking around packing a rage boner for the last 3 days. It's unbelievable. The world's gone completely mad. The inability of the general public to grasp simple, logical points has been stoking my fury for days. So let's get into them, shall we? First things first, obviously I'm going to talk about this one. Comedians show axed after Liverpool parade joke. All right, I'm sure you're all sick of hearing about it by now, but my Twitter's been blowing up as well. So let's have a talk about it, shall we? Right, so the BBC's covered it. Comedians show axed after Liverpool parade joke. By Shivani Chowdhury, another God-fearing English lady. Says a comedian who joked about the Liverpool parade crash has had an upcoming show cancelled. Andrew Lawrence said he'd happily drive through crowds of people to get out of the city in a post that prompted more than 7,000 responses. At least 65 people were injured, and Caddies in Southend has cancelled Lawrence's upcoming gig, saying it did not condone or support the comment. The 37-year-old responded he was disappointed the venue had lost their courage after being bombarded with abuse and threats from online trolls. Yeah, I've got a dog in this hunt as well, because I posted something, again, perfectly logical, and the Scousers dutifully obliged me as well. The Andrew Lawrence thing is a ludicrous non-story, so typical for the insane times we live in. Comedians joke about cancer and AIDS and dead babies and 9/11, but he can't joke about an incident in which nobody died. I wonder if it's because it's whinging effing Scousers, and they gleefully prove me right. Let's just look at some of the responses, shall we? Lorraine O'Shea, was anyone making jokes about 9/11? Yeah. You moronic wanker, 80 injured, kids trapped under a car, do one, you sick. Yeah, performative outrage there. Anyone that angry about a gag, trying to virtue signal so aggressively over a jape? Basically, Lorraine there's probably the next Moira Hindley. Okay, so don't judge me. Get a grip. It was a joke. Sort your life out. So if your kids get trapped under a car in a tragic event and in hospital, is it okay if we laugh at them? Yeah. They're not your kids, are they? Knock yourself out, sugar tits. And loads of good old-fashioned threats. You just wait, lonesome cowboy. I invite you to come up here and debate that. You're such a brave little C-bomb behind your keyboard. Come to Liverpool, fella. I know a few people who'd love to meet you. Listen, this is the point. I've told you I'm not going to Liverpool. I live abroad now. My time in England's valuable. I need to go and see my family and my friends. I certainly don't want to go to Liverpool. In fact, I'd rather have a 2-week vacation inside the Jolly Green Giant's arsehole than go to Liverpool for a fortnight. Are you mental? Why don't you put your face on your profile instead of being the typical keyboard shithouse? And like a girl just said to you, come up to Liverpool and say to a Scouser's face, you maggot. Right, this is me face, alright, knobhead. I take pride in the fact I've been ripping the piss out of Cockneys, Scousers, Geordies, Mackhams, Jocks, the Welsh, the Irish, everybody in the UK, and definitely everybody who's foreign. So you lads need to get a grip. Before I move on to point 2, let me just draw a line under this, okay? First of all, I hate caveating jokes. I hate the way people do that now when they go, obviously not everybody. Well, obviously not everybody. It's not even all Scousers, is it? It's only about 60 to 70% of them that are gibbering, shit for brains, low IQ communists who think it's all brilliant to sing songs like always look on the runway for ice when they're at the Manchester United game, and they love laughing at dead baby jokes when it's about people from Manchester. But the second they become the target of the jokes, all of a sudden, oh, hey, you can't be doing that. Don't take it too far now. Get a grip, lads. It's pathetic. It's cringe. This is why, out of all the people I rip the piss out of, I think the Scousers are the worst. If a mere 60% of jocks and Irish have chips on both shoulders, it's got to be 70 in Liverpool. Whatever percentage of the city votes Reform or Conservative, whatever minuscule percentage that is, that's the Scousers I've got time for. But it ain't many of them. And obviously the ones who are sensible enough to follow the Angry Bootneck. Which reminds me, it's time for a plug. You like this Alan Snack Bar shirt? It's surprisingly high quality, isn't it? You can also get it on a mug as well. That's good, isn't it? Established in 610 AD, Alan's Snack Bar is a world-famous snack bar that is always being shouted about by strange mentally ill cultists, usually before they blow themselves up. So it must be good. I've never actually been and tried the waffles, but I've heard all about it. If you want a shirt, check out my link in the description. Now let's get to point 2, because they are inexorably linked. They're actually talking about the same incident. It's just another level of stupidity that was before the joke thing happened. So before all the facts were known, Ash Sarkar, one of my favourite out communists, said, "I understand why this is being done, and it's probably for the best overall, but the fact that there's a need to release details of the race and nationality of the suspect in order to prevent racist disorder is extremely depressing." And I responded to a load of people on this as well. Again, my logic glands throbbing, okay? How are people so irrevocably dense? How? It has nothing at all to do with racism and everything to do with pattern recognition. That's it. If every single major terrorist attack that involved mass casualties in the UK from the last 25 years, because the IRA haven't been blowing people up lately, have they? If every single one of them was carried out by a follower of one very specific religious doctrine, when there's another mass casualty attack, logic dictates that you assume it's highly probable that the same type of ideology is going to be at the heart of it, okay? That is the most logical thing ever. That's as logical as thinking, well, if I was to hold this splendid mug out and let go of it, it would crash to the desk. It's logical to think that because we have gravity, right? And as I said to many of these morons, if you hear about a sexual assault, a surprise sex incident, you assume it's a man. Ordinarily, it is. Occasionally, though, it's a woman. So does assuming that it was a man, if you hear about it, just breaking news, surprise sex incident. If you assume it was a man, because on the balance of probability, it's highly likely that it's going to be a man, but then you find out it's a woman, does that mean you have an irrational, all-encompassing hatred for all men? Does it? Because you're a bit of a plank if you think it does. And I made this point to one of them. If there was a mass casualty attack today, okay, I'll have 100 quid on it with you. I think it was a regular at Allen's snack bar. Will you take my money? 100 quid. I say yes, you say no. Would you lay your money down? And if you wouldn't lay your money down, does your refusal to do so make you a racist? Because you know about likelihood and probability, and you haven't got the IQ of a sausage roll? So there you go. 2 incidents of extreme mass stupidity by the sheeple that we call the general public. Delusional stupidity. Pattern recognition is hatred. Logic is bigotry. And common sense is extinct. That's almost me for the day. I just want to sign off with a few more jokes about Scousers. The truck hit 65 people, but 665 people have put in for disability benefits. All right, weird. Didn't see that coming 10 miles away. The driver is also being charged with lying to the police because he told them he was driving to work. I can do loads. I can go all day. The jokes. Suck it up. To the 30% of Scousers that know how to vote properly, and they obviously have a sense of humour, please like and share the video. And anybody else who watched it, thanks for tuning in. I'll be doing a live stream on Saturday, and I'll give some merch away to celebrate my new partners at Teespring. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. If you think sick jokes about, little babies dying of AIDS are totally acceptable, but taking the piss out of Scousers isn't because they're special. Please let me know in the comments. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.